John Collins got traded to Utah.
Here we go.
It's a shame, Eastern Conference Finals legend, somebody to help Atlanta get to the ECF. Even though the run
I was a big good
wasn't
John
all
Collins
that.
guy. Put forth one of his worst seasons ever last year.
John Collins is interesting because the year before he signed to Atlanta for a 5-year, $125 million extension, he averaged 21 points per game and 10 rebounds per game.
He's good as hell.
He was supposed to be a player that you at least considered an all-star caliber player, and then he's just been regressing ever since. And the Jazz got him for nothing. Rudy Gay, a future second-round pick. It is important to note that Atlanta now has a $25 million trade exception. So I think they will be very active in movements they're making going forward. Am I crazy to think that John Collins might have a Lauri Markkanen type resurrection with the Jazz? Not to the point that Lauri had. Lauri averaged 24 a game. But John Collins, I think he can probably get to 16-8.
Why not?
He can get to maybe 18-10.
There's just more opportunity there.
It is. I think John Collins is in a place where he can play free. And he's either going to be a part of the Jazz's long-term plans or he's going to play good enough to where they can actually get value for him. So I think this was no risk for the Jazz, and Atlanta clears a big contract off their books.
The heartbreaking part of this trade was that Taylor Hendricks now is getting put to the bench.
I don't think he was gonna. I don't think he was gonna start right away.
Really? I feel like he could have been in the front court. Lauri probably running the 3, Taylor running the 4, and then
Will Hardy has he makes you earn it. Even Walker Kessler, he didn't start. He only started for like 40 games out of his rookie year.
Hardy's a big reason why I'm with that statement that John Collins.
And Agbaji didn't start until like what do you say?
Does Chauncey make you earn it?
Chauncey?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's number 3 pick.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't think
Generational.
so.
Fair.
Taylor Hendricks is generational.
Right.
According to Drew, he might be.
He's in the
I just love a prospect a lot.
Agbaji didn't start starting until late either.
It took him some time.
So he got his. So Will makes you work. I don't think it's a horrible thing that he doesn't start. I think he can ease his way, and they'll run big lineups always. They still got Olenek, they got John, they got Walker Kessler, Lauri. So they're gonna run some big ass lineups. My only problem is where's the point guard, and I think the point guard is the most essential part for Collins and Hendricks. I think especially those two. I think Lauri can go get his. Walker, you don't really need to do too much for him on offense. Kelly Olynyk, you can run him in a simple pick and roll with Jordan Clarkson. They have that connection. But for those two specifically, they need a point guard. And with Colin Sexton being your only real point guard on the roster, and they've been trying to move him, I think it's going to be interesting to see where they bring into that equation. But they got KJ, they got Jordan Clarkson, they got a lot of buckets on that end. And they still got Taylor Horton Tucker, see what he does, But they have pretty much put themselves in a no real risk type of thing. They can just play him. They don't want to they want to compete, but getting John Collins, I guess they want to up his value to flip him for something else. But I don't think this was for Atlanta. Getting that, like you said, getting that trade level exception is going to be huge because they can maybe bring in somebody else. I'm interested to see where they move, though. Would they move DeAndre to the 4? Would they bring in somebody? Would they just run straight 3 shooters? They could run Bogdan, AJ Griffin, DeAndre Hunter at the 2, 3, 4, have just straight snipers around Trey, and then obviously Clint at the 5. I'm very interested to see what they do with that move. But all in all, this is nothing too crazy. John Collins needed a fresh start. He's been on the block for 3 to 4 years. Yeah, he needed a fresh start. And Atlanta, his value was so low, Atlanta couldn't get too much for him. Mm-hmm. So they just took whatever they can. Rudy Gay, nuts. That tweet, that text hit me. I was like, what the fuck?
Do you think this is the last move that Utah makes?
No, they're still trying to shop Sexton. I think they need a point guard, so then maybe they'll try to shop around. Tyus Jones would have been huge for them. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to try to shop around for one. So I think maybe they have 1 or 2 moves.
They're not really allocating much money to multiple places. I'm assuming.
No, Lauri's on
John
a friendly,
Collins,
and it's a team option. So after next year.
Now I know I feel like I don't want to I don't want to jump the gun here talking about free agency, but you need a point guard. You mentioned they probably think that Colin Sexton will be on the move. Is it crazy to think because of the money that they do have to allocate to a player this free agency? If a Fred VanVleet's available, or if you're the Utah Jazz, do you entertain that idea, even if you might have to overpay? I'm
They're gonna have $26 million.
If he wants 30, it's quiet.
Yeah. He wants 40.
It's quiet.
It's over.
Not even on a short deal. It don't even make sense. I'm good. Maybe they can get a vet. I know Mike Conley's probably gonna go back to Minnesota, but that would have been good to bring him back. Maybe. I'm trying to think of point guards off the top of my dome ski. Pat Bev would be cool. He'd be cheap.
It's not horrible.
Nothing crazy. He'd be cheap. You just need a point guard. Another point guard.
Jordan Clarkson is most likely going to leave, and he's going to leave in free agency. I think they bring back THT. I think THT is their point guard. I do. I do.
Are the
I hate
Jazz
it, but
one of
I
your
understand
teams?
it. Yes.
Oh, who?
Lori.
Oh,
Agbaji.
And I know Taylor Horn Tucker.
Taylor Hendricks.
KJ now. I'm here.
I know Taylor Horn Tucker's been a player that most people are tired of hearing about because
Here we
of the
go.
Lakers hype machine. But
He
with
ended
the
up balling
Jazz,
last year. So
with the Jazz, when he
He
got
was.
his opportunity, he was really good.
yeah,
It was towards the end of the year, right?
I'm talking about he was
the real
Nasty.
he was
Shut up.
borderline spectacular
Stop,
for
stop,
them.
stop.
No, I'm being honest.
Stop.
In April, no,
Yep,
in
stop.
March,
That's not a good month to use.
March
14,
is fine.
14,
April isn't.
14,
March is
14
good.
games.
March is
March is
valid.
good.
March is
March
like
is
partially
good.
The last
valid.
valid
April's
month.
nuts. Please don't
Okay,
use
March
it.
in
is
March,
pushing it,
in March he averaged 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, shot 45% from the field and 31% from three. We know he's
He was
not
never
a
a three-point
not a
shooter.
3-point shooter
Was Lori even
exactly.
playing in March? They were tank. They were
They
some
were
tank
taking.
shit.
Yeah, you probably sat some of those.
And then
he
in
had a lot
two
of
games,
opportunity
in
because
two
of Lori
games in
missing.
April, he averaged 28 points per game, 4 rebounds, and
Yeah,
8
the
assists.
April shit doesn't
Two
move
games
me. I know how they
So
get in
16
April.
games between March and April, he was really good. He was. I think he'll be their point guard. That's why it was weird for me that the Jazz didn't draft someone that could be a lead guard because Keontae George is not that, and Bryce Sensabaugh is not that.
Yeah, Kaysen would have made some sense, especially that we saw.
Kaysen-
Kaysen was the
wasn't
pick
there.
after. He was the pick after. Yeah, at 9 they went Taylor Hendricks. At 10,
No,
that's
but
when Kaysen
Taylor
went.
made some sense. I'm
It
saying
did
at
until
16,
John Collins.
16, Jalen was right there.
That's true.
That's why they wanted Anthony Black bad. This would have been a perfect spot for
Yeah,
him.
but 16 they had the opportunity to get a point guard and they with KJ. They went to because I guess Jordan Clarkson leaving, you kind of need somebody to come in and get buckets right away, run off the pick and roll, and I think Agbaji can play the 2 or the 3. So it made somewhat sense, but I thought they was gonna go point guard.
It's like, obviously, I've made my feelings known about Taylor Hendricks. Utah getting him, of course, I believe in him. He's going to be a very good player. However, with the rumors that they really wanted Anthony Black because obviously they needed to address the need at point guard, you would have expected at 9 for at least that Kaysen to be in mind. Or you mentioned it at 16, the JHS would have been one of those guys that they were considering at those picks. But for them to go neither, and then for on top of it trade for John Collins, it's like now I'm really questioning why at 9 you didn't go Kaysen.
even with the last pick,
Why
they
at
had
16
they had
you
an
go
opportunity to
JHS?
get Nick Smith Jr.
That's another
at
one.
the
That's a fact.
And they was like, no, we want the shooters.
Colby
we want
was
the
on the
spacing.
board.
Kobe, well, he's a 2 guard. I
He
don't think
can
they want to win.
facilitate.
It's like, I think they made
facilitate
Yeah, for
some.
sure.
I think they made some really good draft picks. We mentioned
Yeah,
it on
for
our
sure.
winners and losers on the last episode. Taylor Hendricks, Keontae George, Bryce Sensabaugh. Those were excellent draft picks. But where's the point guard? Because right now, the only reason why we're having this real discussion is because we like your front court a lot. You have a very
Amazing
impressive
Probably
front
best front
court.
court in the league. Depth.
Arguably, yes, I'm not going to disagree with you there. But where's your point guard? Who's going to facilitate this? Jordan Clarkson is a bucket getter. He's not a facilitator
And a
like
free
that.
agent.
That too.
There are some point guards, not a lot, but there are
There's
some
really not.
available.
Yeah,
I
I was
look
looking-
every day hoping someone new pops up. No one ever does.
I don't think Russell Westbrook's going to Utah
Good
for a
God,
rebuild.
no. He doesn't. No, he's
Didn't they
not.
buy him out? Right.
He's not going to Utah.
Maybe
Russell
Gabe
Westbrook
Vincent.
might be
Maybe
going
Gabe
to- they
Vincent
did
wants to
buy him
run his
out.
own team.
Game Vincent.
Gabe Vincent.
I hope Dennis Schroeder doesn't.
You think
leave.
they need that type of point guard though?
Nah,
I need more. I think more of a facilitator.
it's a good one
Do you
though.
think
Maybe go
Trey
trade for
Jones-
Monte Morris.
Do you think Trey Jones will be brought back by the Spurs?
I think he should
Probably.
be.
Yeah.
I think you could trade for Monte Morris, bring him in.
Just
I think
because
that'd be too bad.
Trey Jones, they have his bird
Is he
right.
restricted?
Yeah, he's a-
Oh.
No, he's going.
He's
I think he's
unrestricted.
going back to San Antonio.
The Jazz are, we'll see what they do.
They'll be competitive though. I mean, they were
Yeah.
competitive.
They could make
weren't.
they
They weren't the
could- or
one
trade
seed
for
for
Kobe.
long, right? But they were competitive for a
I
good
think,
portion of the
Kobe
season.
White or Io, they could try
I was
to
going to say
give us
because
a trade.
both you guys have both of their bird rights, but
Oh,
it's,
yeah, they're-
for Io it's his early bird.
We gave him the qualify. So, no, it's-
I think the funniest part of this
the
is
first.
Atlanta traded John Collins to get out of the luxury cap, but they also said they'd be willing to go into the luxury for certain players. So they're basically just saying like the team wasn't good enough. Like we can't justify paying the
Retool.
luxury tax for this team, which I understand this team was mid as shit to pay luxury tax on.
Is Clint Capella next, or do you think that it's essential
you can
that they
move
keep
him. You got
Just
Onyeka,
because
man.
Onyeka is,
They
It's
should trade
Clint
DeJounte
or
to
DeAndre Hunter. They're next.
Yeah.
I feel like DeAndre
The
Hunter
DeAndre's
would be one of
backcourt
those
set.
because AJ Griffin.
Yeah, no, he's ready.
Yeah,
He is.
And Jalen. Jalen played well at the end.
That's a fact.
So,
AJ
The
is
starting
locked and
lineup
loaded.
could be, if they trade Capella and DeAndre Hunter, it could be Trae Young, DeJounte, AJ Griffin, Sadiq Bey, and Onyeka
or whoever they bring back.
from the trades.
Yeah.
Correct.
is that
Yeah.
a better team
I-
than
I'm
it is
int-
now, though?
No,
AJ's
I'm
a
interested to
beast.
see what Atlanta does because
Kobe off the
I
bench
do.
too, man.
I do think that they're going to be very active in the trade market. Part of me, this is just a gut feeling. Part of me thinks that one day we're going to wake up to our phones and we're going to see an alert that says the Hawks are trading for somebody. No, not Trae Young traded.
I'm just being a prick.
The Hawks have traded for a big-time player. I don't know who it is, but I just get that gut feeling that we're going to wake up one day and be like,
why is that?
They don't have picks, though.
Yes.
They don't have picks. They trade all them in the
They
DeJounte.
have salary matches, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
We have to send some good players.
Yeah.
And boy,
I mean,
they
you
don't
have to
have
trade
many.
some of you. No, you got AJ, Jalen. You got some young players to be willing to trade, but you need to match salary.
AJ. That boy was a 50,
Well, if you're not
49
moving
as a
AJ,
rookie.
you don't have picks. You're not getting anybody. Sorry.
Fuck him in jail.
Okay. Moving on.
Clint,
Clinton, DeAndre together. See what we get.
couple pick swaps maybe. Who knows?
Somebody threw in the chat AD for Simon, Sharp, and 4 first-round picks.
He wants to say he's in, but
he's in.
His heart is holding
He's
him
for
back.
sure in for that one. He's in for that one. That'd be fire.
That would
Listen,
be a
we're
good-ass
almost
package.
out of it.
That'd be fun.
Our first round picks. The light is right there. We're right about to get back to having our own first round picks. It's like I think it's one more year after. I think it's after next year we're back to having our own.
And then for the Mavericks,
Aren't they swaps after next year?
Next year's a swap.
Yeah, so you get it back. Yeah.
So if that trade happens, then the Lakers could deal with the Mavericks and LeBron over there for Omax, THJ,
Bring me Derek Lively too.
LeBron for Omax.
I'm staying in.
picks, Josh
staying in
Green,
LA.
maybe.